All right, welcome back to the Binary Sunset Podcast. It's episode 19.
19.
How do you feel about that, Zach? 19.
We're still not drinking age. So
Still not drinking age, but we're almost in the 20s,
maybe
which
we
is a big deal.
Maybe we could have bought death sticks on Tatooine. I don't know what the death stick age is.
Oh yeah, it's an unregulated system, so they'll give it to anybody.
That's true. I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't think
they give it
that.
to babies on Tatooine.
Tatooine.
Why do you think the Tusken Raiders look like that? Those are ventilators that they're on. Why do you think they sound like that?
Don't smoke.
All right. Well, anyway, so today's a big episode because it is our breakdown of the premiere of The Bad Batch.
Yes.
The new series on Disney Plus.
And our post Star Wars Day. We have our post Star Wars Day hangover going on right now. So
Yeah. Well, it's not from any type of booze or drugs. It's mostly just of elation and happiness.
Intaking so much.
Yeah.
So many memes on Instagram. Follow us on
I
Instagram.
I do have a meme hangover. I do have a meme hangover.
I do too. And just checking our Instagram like every minute, seeing what people are doing.
Oh yeah, because we were super active. I mean, yesterday we posted like all day.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. It's a celebration. But I remember because the first post we had for May the 4th was at the stroke of midnight, and I'm Central Time. So at midnight, I posted pretty cool. What I thought was a pretty cool
graphic
nugget.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I liked it. It was cute.
But anyway, yeah. So we've been pretty busy on social media. If you don't follow us, please do. Obviously, it's at Binary Sunset Podcast. We'd love to engage with you, blah blah blah, all that crap. But it was so yeah. Yesterday was May the 4th. We're recording this on a Wednesday, and then and I watched it. Yes, I watched The Bad Batch yesterday morning, and then there's gonna be another episode on Friday.
And I just finished it 5 hours ago. So
nice,
still fresh.
Okay, so you're all caught up.
Yes,
cool. Yeah, so yes, and then there's the episode 2 is coming out on Friday, and for those listening, that's tomorrow for you, I guess, or tonight, depending on how long you want to stay up. But
it is it 16 whole episodes? Is that how many episodes The Bad Batch has? Let me see here.
There's gonna be 16, I think.
Okay. Batch.
What are you doing?
I'm looking it up right now. If it's actually 16, I thought it was 18 or 16. I forgot.
Yeah, no, it's 16.
It's 16.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And I think because the first episode, the premiere was 70 minutes. I think the rest of them are going to be about like half an hour. So
yes.
But yeah, so right off the bat, that was fucking awesome. I fucking loved it. That was so good. Listen, as somebody that's like, I've rewatched. I'm a big Clone Wars fan, and I rewatched that show like at least a dozen times. I'm a huge fan of it. I wasn't when it first came out, because I was kind of like, I thought I was too old for that kind of stuff. But then I, kind of discovered it later in life. But
yes,
yeah, man, it's basically season 8 of Clone Wars essentially. But it was so good, and it's just, for me, it's like especially cool to see just like that transition.
Yes,
from what it was in season 1 to what it is now. I mean, it was like I was like taken aback by like just the animation style had become so much better over time.
Well,
and it just looks so cinematic.
It opens up. I like how it opens up. It has a Clone Wars, and then it just like
that was really cool. Kind of burns into the Bad Batch.
Yeah, the Bad Batch logo burns into the Clone Wars. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as you though, because I have not finished all the Clone Wars. So I can tell that you appreciated it more.
I think there's a greater level of appreciation. I guess if you've kind of been there the whole journey, but.
I started the journey. Started it.
You started. You have to.
A long time ago.
You got to finish that show. It's so good.
Yeah, I'll finish it after the Bad Batch.
All right, fine. Well, okay. So on the whole,
yes.
But you like this. You liked that. You enjoyed the episode.
I really enjoyed it, and my one favorite thing is how they explored how the clones felt and how they transitioned right away to the Galactic Empire.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just. I don't know if you want to do like a little. It's a long episode, but we could do like a
why don't you tell me one thing that you enjoyed the most, and then we'll do the synopsis.
Okay. Let me think about that. You know what? I think, and this goes for Star Wars as a whole. Yeah. I think like anytime it comes down to it, I think Star Wars, it can have flashy effects. It can look really cool, but it's not truly an enjoyable Star Wars experience for me if I'm not invested in the characters. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if you didn't watch season 7 of Clone Wars, did you?
No, but I know what happens.
Okay, so there's the first arc is like a 4-episode arc, and it's the Bad Batch. That's where we're introduced to the Bad Batch. And I wasn't a huge fan of them. It was a good series of episodes, but I just didn't feel the chemistry there. I took the long way around, but my favorite thing about this episode was just the chemistry between the characters.
Totally,
it's fantastic.
Totally,
I really really liked the characters, and they're so distinct. They play together well. They've got great chemistry, and they have great chemistry with that little girl Omega, who we will get to, who's very interesting, and who I have a lot of predictions about. And I know I've seen a lot of other predictions on the internet, but yeah, we'll get to all that. But let's just kind of walk through and
all right, let's walk through
and talk about what happened. Cool. So okay, I'll just start us off. So we start off with a bang. Clone Wars Order 66 basically is like it's like under 10 minutes into the episode. Order 66 happens, and actually you didn't watch Rebels either.
No.
So when this episode started off, I almost shit my pants because the Padawan and the Jedi Master. Okay, so that little Padawan is Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character from Rebels.
Okay.
Kanan Jarrus, who that's his fake name. His real name is Caleb Doom, who is the Padawan.
And so basically what happens in the beginning is that Order 66 happens, and his master, Jedi,
Deepa, I forgot her last name.
She's killed, and she tells him to run. And the Bad Batch don't really know what's going on because they're not like your regular clones. So they're very confused, and you have two of them. They kind of split up, but two of them go after and try to find, I'll call him young Freddie Prinze Jr., even though he's not.
Yeah. His voice is very deep.
Yeah. But
that opening scene was so cool. That was like, because like you kind of expect it, and then once it starts happening, I feel like over the past few years we've seen different angles and perspectives of Order 66 come through media, like different media, like Jedi Fallen Order, Clone Wars Season 7, this, and it's like heartbreaking every time, and it was done so well. It was so eerie. But I will say this before we continue, that there's most people across the board love this episode, but a lot of people are pissed off because there's a bit of a controversy with that opening scene with Caleb Doom and his master, because that scene was already written in one of the comics a couple years ago.
Oh, interesting.
And Dave Filoni did some retconning in how that actually transpired. But so people are a little mad about that. But, I mean, here's the thing. First of all, it's Dave Filoni's character to begin with.
Yeah.
Right? I think he can kind of do whatever he wants. It's kind of like Ahsoka in a way. And second of all, I understand that it's disappointing, but I think it's done in order to give the Bad Batch their the character development and like the beginning of their arc that I think they need, and also in order because they weren't originally in that whole thing thing that happened. So yeah, they were put in there, and they needed something to do, and they needed a connection with the Padawan and the Master, and so I think it was done in the best way it could have been done.
Yes.
But again, I mean, if you're disappointed, I'm sorry, but I think I was fine with it.
Yeah. No.
But anyway, yeah. So we keep going, and obviously the clones got the message to execute Order 66, and they kill Caleb's master. He goes running, and the Bad Batch go chase after him. And for the most, I think. So let me try to remember their names. So it's Hunter, Crosshair, Wrecker, Tech and Echo. And Echo he was actually just a regular clone, but he was in season 7 of Clone Wars. He was abducted by the Separatists and made they like basically abducted him and like
it's part of
farmed his brain for like tactical stuff
and
info on the Republic.
Tarkin's unit or something, or Tarkin led them. Is that right too? He said that
in what?
He said that.
He
said he was.
He didn't lead them. He was. They in. I think it was. I forgot what season of Clone Wars it was. Yeah. It was one of the later seasons, like 5 or something.
Okay.
But there was this like this prison that Anakin and Echo and Rex broke Tarkin out of. It was a rescue mission and also a Jedi as well. Even Peel, I think. Jedi Master Even Peel. The little guy. The little the kind of Yoda but not Yoda looking guy. But
yes.
So he was that's where Echo and Tarkin met, and Tarkin was obviously never a fan of clones. Even in that episode he made that pretty clear. But so basically every one of the Bad Batch did not get the order relayed through their microchip in their brain, except for Crosshair. It like just a little bit, but it was enough to have him start firing at Caleb. And Hunter's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, whatever. And so that Caleb incapacitates Crosshair, and Hunter goes running after him. He jumps over a cliff, and Hunter lets him go, obviously, because like, he's not gonna. He can't execute Order 66.
Yeah.
So Caleb runs away. Crosshair is suspicious of Hunter because he's like, you disobeyed orders, whatever. And they all congregate back. And so, now then Tech gets the word that the war's over, that Obi-Wan engaged Grievous. I think he said he was like defeated. I can't remember. But yeah, basically the war's over. And this is like one of the coolest parts, like just like atmospheric wise of the episode, because like normally when wars end, it's usually like, jubilation and celebration and all that kind of stuff. But it was just really like eerie and quiet. It just kind of ended.
Back to business.
It was kind of creepy. And yeah, anyway, so do you want to
yeah, so basically Freddie Prinze Jr. gets away. They go back to Kamino and they're like, what's going on? They're like this the Clone Squad or Clone Force 99 is like, what's going on? And then they meet what's her name again? I forgot her
Omega.
name. Omega. They meet Omega.
Well,
little kid who was a New Zealander. Yeah, New Zealand accent.
She turns out to be a clone as well.
Yes,
a mutated clone. But so they go to, they're at Kamino right now.
They're at Kamino.
Also, I don't know if you saw when they arrived at Kamino, you saw that like dead Jedi that dropped his lightsaber.
Yep.
Or her lightsaber. I don't think anybody knows who that is yet, but I'm actually really curious to find out who that is.
That would be interesting.
Anyway, yeah, keep going.
All right. They're on Kamino. They meet Omega. Then basically Crosshair continues to just shit on Hunter for what he thinks he let Freddie Prinze Jr. get away. That becomes like a whole kind of like, that's like the beginning of like the end of like their friendship so far, or just them working together. And
I feel like they weren't as shocked as they should have been when when the Jedi Purge first happened. Like, I feel like they just go back to their like room in Kamino and they're kind of just like, huh, that was weird. Like, why would they do that?
I mean, the thing is,
I feel like they should have been more like devastated that was going on.
Yeah, but they're clones, who knows? Clones have their own thing going on. I mean, the majority of them, everybody's just like back to business. And honestly, the clones are just more aggressive. Like the regular clones are more aggressive when they get back, especially towards them. because they don't get with the program.
Well, yeah, the Bad Batch are free thinkers.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the episode is when they basically just retell Emperor Palpatine talking to the Senate. Like this is a moment when he dissolves the Senate and creates the first galactic empire, end of the Republic, and they play the same speech that he does, like the attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. And you can tell, like everybody else, I mean, for the most part, Clone Force 99 is just like, what's going on? But also Crosshair is kind of just like, all right, like I don't care, like just get with the program.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously under the influence,
and they're just basically all these clones are cheering him on. Then, so specifically, there's a scene when they get to know Omega more, and they're in the lunchroom, and Omega starts a fight with a clone who is kind of just kind of bad mouthing. Like it's honestly kind of funny. Omega goes up to Clone Force 99 and nobody wants to sit with them, and she's just like, yeah, I'll sit with you. And then
because they're the only other clones that look different from everyone else.
Yeah, and all the other clones are kind of just giving them a hard time, and they give her a hard time, and then she throws a lunch tray at him, and bam, food fight. And Tarkin is watching. It's funny. Then it's Tarkin. He appears and he's watching all the clones fight, having a food fight.
And he's basically there because he's there on behalf of the Empire, basically to tell the Kaminoans that they are done with cloning.
Exactly. I forgot that part. That's a good point. There's a side scene when he's kind of just, well, they're like that
was a good scene.
It was.
I like that.
It was. The head or the ambassador and the head of the cloning facility is like, why do you want to shut down the clones? And Tarkin's like, well, they don't. It's cheaper to just enlist people.
It's like half as cheap.
So I thought that was interesting. That's always been a question about why did clones turn? Why did the Empire discontinue clones and just go back to like shitty people who didn't know how to shoot?
That's a really good plot hole filler of like why they missed them. But you know what? When I was watching that, I kept begging the question in my head, like, are we going to see... Okay, because here's the thing. There's like millions of clones running around, right?
Yep.
20 years later, there's... No, I mean, except for like Rex and stuff, I guess, but like... And Boba Fett, but that I don't think that counts. But, I mean, there's millions of them spread across the galaxy.
Yeah.
Is there going to be like for lack of a better word, like... clone holocaust? Are they just going to exterminate them?
They all have chips in their brain, so I wouldn't be surprised.
They just shut them down. They just kill them all. That would be an insane and I was thinking about that. I'm like, that's definitely if that's going to happen, if we're ever going to see that, that's going to be on this show.
Yeah. No, that's a good
decommissioning the clones. Anyway.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out because I thought about
it's fine. Then so after that, then the clones think the Clone Force 99 thinks they're going to get just yelled at for starting a food fight, but then in turn, actually, they're going to be tested. So they go into this facility because Tarkin wants to see them in action, and they fight these droids, no problem. And they're using stun guns and stuff like that, so it's non-lethal. And then they defeat them, no problem. And then Tarkin says, "Oh, well, you know what? Let's I want to see something real." And so then they he's like, make them lethal, make all the droids and everything lethal. And then
you get like proto dark troopers.
I was gonna say that, yeah. And you get dark troopers who basically are I mean, they're not dark troopers yet, but they're just going around trying to shoot him, and the Bad Batch has a pretty hard time trying to defeat them. They eventually defeat them. And however, Tarkin at the end is like, you know what? I still don't trust them because they do not obey orders. So I'm going to go send them to fight some separatists. So then they're sent to this planet to go and eliminate some separatists. But it turns out they're not separatists at all. It turns out
lies, deception,
lies, deception. It turns out our favorite meme lord, Saw Gerrera, and some members of the Republic are actually taking refuge and hiding from this new empire. And Hunter,
kind of like the proto rebels,
exactly.
Almost.
And Hunter tells, I already forgot his name. I'm terrible with names. Crosshair. Hunter tells Crosshair to stand down. Crosshair barely does it. And then they're taken captive. Then there's this whole speech where Saw Gerrera is just like we're not here. We just want to live under a republic, not an empire. That's what we fought for. And then he basically is like, you know what? We're going to leave. And we'll see, like your destiny is up to you, basically. Then after they leave, then Hunter and Crosshair get into another fight. Then Hunter shoots a droid that has been filming and watching them the entire time to see if they actually
probe droid.
Yes, a probe droid. You okay, Evie?
I'm short circuiting.
I'm glad you got that in.
They make the weirdest noises.
You know, it'd be really appreciative if you don't interrupt me with your droid noises when I'm trying to.
They're not interrupt. It's like it's
seasoning.
It's seasoning. Yeah.
Oh, it's seasoning. It's complementing my story.
I'm making it a 4D experience.
That just came out of nowhere. All right, let's finish this up. So,
sorry.
So they they return back home to Kamino. Then they're basically just taken captive because Tarkin's pissed off that they did not complete the mission. He calls them traitors, and he throws them in the brig.
Yep.
And then
in their pajamas,
and then with Omega. And then Omega just ended up there.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait. Hold on. I think we're missing something. Oh, no. They go basically. They were like ready to just like run away after Saw Gerrera.
They're gonna go back.
But they
got
Omega. Captured on purpose to get Omega. Yeah.
They were going. That's what I forgot because Omega was captured because she was just being a dumb kid, I guess.
Well, not only that, but she's just like she is basically Nala Se, the Kaminoan. It was like there's five mutated clones, and Echo's not one of them. He's a regular that got whatever.
That's true. That's
conscripted into the Bad Batch, but she is the fifth mutated clone. She poses a grave threat, and also she's basically like their child almost. It's kind of weird. Like she's well pampered, well taken care of, like not like any of the other clones are treated. And so she's obviously the key here. Like there's something going on with her, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's. So they're in the brig.
So they're in the brig. She got there because she was just making trouble. Then they find her, but before they can kind of think about plan to escape, then Crosshair is actually taken by the clones, and he's done tested on. I'm assuming they just basically what happens is Tarkin asks the Caminos to not increase the size of the chip in his brain, but like make him more,
just make it more potent, I guess.
Make him obey more, basically. Mm-hmm. So they do that, and
they do some weird science stuff.
While they do that, Hunter and the rest of the batch and Omega escape, and they're getting to the ship, and they get to the ship, have all their stuff, and then.
And Tech is he's trying to get the ship started.
Tech is trying to get the ship started, and Crosshair then appears, and it's the ultimate betrayal because he orders them to stand down.
Oh, we forgot something though. Before, when they were still in the brig, was a part that I will not forget, and that I have predictions on in terms of Omega's characters, when she was like, she was just like talking to him, and she's like, I know what you're gonna do, and I know you can't help it.
Oh yes, that's true.
She could see into the future. She could sense something from him.
Oh,
I think she's force sensitive. I think she's like a force sensitive clone.
All right, okay,
easily. And I think
we'll get into it. Though.
But anyway, so she says that, and he's like, he kind of just looks at her. Yeah, I mean, he can't really do anything about it. He's programmed that way. So anyway, but yeah, so he's like hunting that. He's also decked out in a cool new suit.
Yes. They should honestly call him Hunter now because he's hunting the Bad Batch. And he ends up shooting Wrecker, only wounding him. And then just smart thinking and team cooperation, the Bad Batch are able to escape. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. They're able to do that because Omega actually shoots at Crosshair and disarms him. And
never held a blaster before, never shot anything.
Yeah, never shot anything, but she's a natural. And then we get some nice dialogue of them on a ship, and Omega says she's never been outside of Kamino before, and she loves seeing the stars. And then, bam, jump to hyperspace.
Oh yeah, and also the reason why they were able to escape is because the I guess you can call them stormtroopers now. Well, not really, but the clone troopers tried to like shut the bay doors, and the Kaminoans stopped them from doing that because they wanted Omega to escape because they knew she was special and she needed to be kept alive.
Exactly.
And then that's and then they said that they're like, oh, where do we go before they jump to hyperspace?
Yeah.
And they were like, I forgot what, like J16, J something, some planet, whatever. I think I was like, when I watched that, I was like, what does that mean? So I rewound it. I watched it a couple times. I think, this is just a prediction, but I think they're going to find Captain Rex.
Captain Rex, okay.
Yeah. Because I noticed he was in some of the trailers.
Oh, I thought it was going to be like Saw Gerrera, like he was going to go after.
It could also just be Saw Gerrera. Well, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, anyway, it's a friend. And yeah, they jumped to hyperspace, and that was it. It's 70 minutes, and it was like exactly what I needed.
Yeah. It was
the perfect length.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that I love that. Anyway, so let's talk predictions. Let's talk about what we think is going to happen going forward.
Again, I'm not like as well versed in the clones, so I feel like your predictions will be the cream of the crop.
Well, a lot of ways this is completely new territory, so I don't think you're that out of your element.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, Star Wars is just going to be Star Wars.
I don't really have predictions. More of like what I'd like to see.
Sure.
And what I'd like to see is Mandalorians. That's what I'd like to see. Maybe the Bad Batch get in with some Mandalorians. That'd be
for sure. I mean, this is the medium where Mandalorians were really fleshed out in canon. You know, Filoni loves his Mandalorians, so there's for sure going to be Mandalorians.
He's a good Star Wars fan.
He really he's turning into quite the storyteller.
Yes.
Obviously, I think, he was obviously trained under George's wing.
Yeah.
And his talent was always there, and you could definitely see that in the Clone Wars series. And then, as that progressed, finally he was able to actually direct like a live action thing, which was Mandalorian, and right for that. And I think he's been cutting his teeth so much now that he's turning into a really, really, really good writer and director and
producer too.
And producer as well.
Yeah.
But I think he shines now in a lot of aspects that George taught him, and some of his own like natural talent at storytelling. Because George was always, don't crucify me for this, but like George was never really great at like that story stuff.
No,
but he was always great at obviously vision stuff. Like, he's a great visionary.
Dialogue but he's not the best.
No, we're somewhat to be desired. But I think that he excelled in messages. He really hero's journey type stuff, right and wrong, greed, friendship, loyalty, blah blah blah. He was really, really good at that. And I think that Dave Filoni got that from him.
I'd say he is more well-rounded, in my opinion.
That's what I was trying to say. That's more succinct.
George
but that's basically
is definitely,
what I'm
when it comes to fantasy and sci-fi, obviously, like there would be no. Dave Filoni would not be able to create the universe.
No. He definitely, and that's world building wise. No, I don't think George is the master at that.
But I agree when it comes to dialogue, pacing, and just telling a story under a certain amount of time. Definitely Dave Filoni is better.
Something I noticed a lot with, it's a good point. Like something I noticed a lot with this episode was that like it was paced so well.
Yeah.
And that comes from obviously like a team of editors and stuff.
And so I'm also gonna say not that Star Wars films have been poorly paced in the past. I mean, honestly, they're some of the best films ever. Star Wars Episode 4.
I mean, A New Hope is one of the best paced movies in history.
A New Hope, and I was gonna say Empire Strikes Back as well are just ridiculously well paced. But I mean, that's not just George Lucas.
That's editors.
And editors,
Marsha and that kind of stuff. But
exactly.
It was great. George's prodigy is definitely excelling, but
we'll watch your career.
I was going to say that. We'll watch your career with great interest. So let's we can talk predictions now. I was saying before, I think Omega. So Omega, I was looking at some what people were saying about her even before this came out, but like basically people pointed out like Omega is the last letter in the Greek alphabet. So I think she's like the last. She's like the last of the mutated clones, obviously, because we already know that. But she wears that like pendant around her forehead, just like all the Kaminoans.
Yep.
And she's different from any other clone we've ever seen, because I think she is like the first clone that's developed some type of force sensitivity, or at least one that can access it.
She's also a girl.
She's also a girl. Yes,
that's probably the clone
biggest change, I guess. That's true. But she kept the accent.
Yeah.
I just love how accents are genetic.
Yeah.
I guess not, but I think she's definitely force sensitive. Just like the hints that they've given us, like her ability to just fire a weapon without any training, to Mary Sue.
Yeah, I was about to say, what a Mary Sue. Wow.
No, I don't think that applies here, but her ability to sense things in people, to kind of almost tell the future in a way, and you know what, I really like that idea that a clone bred for, or initially like intended to be bred for, just like blind combat, to die for a regime that they don't like, they have to pledge loyalty to. It's essentially a slave, can develop these independent and extraordinary powers.
Sure.
That anybody can be special. I like that. I like that idea. Even amongst people who should be genetically identical, even though she's obviously a mutant. But yeah, so if they go that direction, I'm totally on board.
Again, I'm not really about the predictions right now, because I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough to predict. Besides, I just really liked it. And honestly, in a way, I kind of feel like the same way how I felt when after the first few episodes, or honestly, after the first episode, after the first like 3 episodes of Mandalorian, like the first season, I was like, I like it, but I don't know what's going to happen. Like there hasn't been enough where I'm going to like,
except for season 2, where the Binary Sunset podcast called Luke Skywalker coming at this season finale. But anyway, I just want to say that.
Yes.
We called it.
I mean, we called it because we had another season under our belt.
That's true.
We know how their stories are told. And given, I mean, it is Filoni, but at the same time, it's different. I mean, like I said, what I want to see is just them fighting or getting to know Mandalorians. And I mean, I'm really excited. I saw a shot in the trailer where Hunter's just like, I don't know if he's just running, like he's on a speeder and in this like very busy city. I just want to know what that's like what that's about, how the aliens like, or just how like that culture exists in a post Empire. Just, I'm sure there's going to be,
or post Republic.
Yeah. Post Republic. I am sure there's going to be a bunch of banter, in like bars. Like I could see Hunter or somebody else, one of the clones, getting a drink or something like that. And like people in the or people in the Empire just being like, what, like they think this happened and it's just really fake news. So like it's just a very misled population. And I guess my only prediction is that I think, and I would like this, I mean, I guess I'll say it's a prediction, but I feel like it'd be really good if there was some time spaced out in between an episode. Maybe it's like at the end where they all disband, and then like maybe, I don't know if it has to be a year, but maybe like a month or something like that, where like there's a certain amount of time that passes when they're not together, and how that how this galaxy changes them when they're not together. Because
that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
Yep. So that's what I want to see mainly, but that's kind of a prediction because I think it will happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, I think this whole series is going to be how are these clones going to fit in a non-clone world?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't. Too. Yeah, again, I don't really know. Where this can literally go anywhere. Yeah. I mean, I know the first episode ends around pretty much the end of Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yeah.
Kind of just lines up with that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's like, which is funny because like that little space of time directly after the Empire assumed control is like one of the least known parts of the Skywalker saga.
No, that's totally true.
At the moment.
In my opinion, I mean, that's what Solo and Rogue One were about, but that was at the later end.
Yeah, those are even at like those are
Rebellion.
Those are 10 years after. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the Kenobi series is going to be like 10 years after.
Yeah. So
do you think we'll see any Jedi?
I'm probably. Okay. This is the dumb thing, but it's something I hate. I don't like seeing so many Jedi all the time. And I feel like, especially in animation, just like it just takes away from the whole idea of Order 66. And that, I mean, it takes away from the idea of death.
I see what you're saying.
It's just like Emperor Palpatine's back, like just like that. So
you're saying, so you're against like discovering more Jedi that survived Order 66?
Yeah, I am.
I actually kind of agree with you. It was a special thing when Luke was the last Jedi.
Yeah, I want them dead. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is
because then it has less of a. It's less meaningful of an event.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like this is, and I mean the prequels did this. Is like it's kind of like that midichlorians thing. Like, oh, midichlorians actually create Jedi, not like you can't just randomly become one. Like it's something like that where. Yeah. So that's my only issue. I don't want to see any more Jedi. I want to see more interesting people, and I want to see less Jedi.
We're probably going to see Caleb again.
I mean, yeah, he's already there, so
he's there. Yeah.
But
yeah. So that's pretty much wraps it up, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised how we got through that 70-minute episode so quickly. But, I was so happy for every second that I was watching that. It was so much fun, visually stimulating, cinematically shot. It's not really shot, but it was just a joy, and I want more. I want it now. Well, it's almost now because we're getting more on Friday, but we're excited for Friday. we're excited.
You're getting it like in 2 days.
I know. because I'm a spoiled little brat. Yeah. See, here's the thing: is that Star Wars needs to realize that the more it gives me, the more I want.
The more you want. It's like that meme you posted.
Long are the days where we had to wait 3 years between movies. Anyway,
or just content.
Yeah, or even just content. Anyway, so episode 2 is on Friday. We'll do a review of that for next Thursday, excuse me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining us once again. Please follow us on Instagram. All that kind of stuff. Subscribe, like, blah, 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 blah. Again, we appreciate you guys listening, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.